All right, I think we're live.
Welcome to the real episode 20.
The real motherfucking episode 20. God, that was such a shit show.
It was so bad.
Fuck me, man.
I'm not sure why we thought that we could record a podcast drunk at the pool with multiple people there.
There was always 4 conversations going.
I didn't think it was going to be everybody was there. I thought everybody was going to be leaving a little bit, or we'd maybe like move somewhere else. Like, oh, we're coming from live from the pool. But it just turned into a shit show. I was like, God, and you know, listen, I'm glad everybody else had fun. I am a very irritable person. That was very hard for me to do.
I think I was pretty irritated too.
Yeah, that was everybody's talking over. Listen, I don't mind arguing. I don't mind debating.
Nope.
But it needs to be back and forth. Interrupting and fucking talking over drives me fucking insane. And then the conversation over us in the cabana. Oh yeah, Pedro Pascal's real fucking hot. I'm glad. You know, listen, he's daddy as fuck. Shut up and talk next to each other. I love you both, but shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. There's like 4 things in this world I take seriously, okay? And the podcast being one of them. So that I may want to choke everybody.
It's a very important podcast, and we finally have Mark, and we've talked shit about him on almost every episode.
Every single podcast, yeah.
19 episodes.
With the exception of, I think, the Brandon Allen podcast.
Yeah.
So 18 episodes.
Yeah.
We talk shit.
Yeah. And then I love your whiteout, which is, but I love him.
I love him. It's okay.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
It's Down syndrome sport, but he's a good guy.
He's a good sport. He's a good sport, all right? He takes it well, all right? He takes all Down syndrome and all. He doesn't actually have Down syndrome, guys, if you can't tell. His face looks normal.
I'm not going to try to even pretend to have it right now.
We would like this podcast to keep going. I say enough shady shit already.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
So let's not go there.
We're hanging on by a thread here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no sponsors. Shocking.
Weird.
Yet. Yeah, Body Armor. Yeah, they're okay. They're not bad. Too much sugar.
No, they
Too much sugar.
Yeah, they have the low sugar ones, the low calorie ones, but I have to end up drinking most of my calories during the day, especially in the heat. So full sugar for me.
Oh, okay. So y'all, this is Pool Boy Lifts. Mark is a pool boy.
Mm-hmm.
A pool man, father. Pool man.
Yes.
Mark is also a residential geared lifter.
Yes. So the question you asked me that took 45 minutes to get to was, I believe, why are the standards so bad right now in equipped lifting?
That part, yeah. So let's fucking jump right into it.
Okay.
Why are we'll jump right into this and then we'll get to the fucking meat recap and all that shit. Why are the standards so fucking bad anymore? Listen, every meet I go to, when I see multiply lifters, I'm not even sure. I'm sure they're probably multiply, honestly. Nobody's happy that they're there. Nobody's happy. We're all pissed because we're like, they're going to take way too long. They're going to load up way too much weight. And the second they start descending and try, I guess, maybe we can use that word. I don't even know if they're trying. They go, I'm like, why? Why did you do that?
Down,
okay.
Up, take it.
Yeah.
Immediately, every fucking time.
That is not a standards question.
That's not a standards question. That's not a standards question. So
that's just a stupidity question.
That's a stupidity question. So we'll get to that one next. Standards. Standards. Why? Okay, now I know it's harder to hit depth when you're wearing the fucking pajamas, all right? The stiff pajamas. But I have seen guys pass. And we've seen people pass with world records higher than giraffe balls.
Yep, we sure have, and it's happened recently, and it's going to continue to happen. So,
and why? Why
the
is that a thing
reason
now?
why is it's never not been a thing. So it seems to be getting worse. Like they're getting higher and higher and higher. And the sad part is it's in the biggest meets. The biggest meets with the biggest names and the highest weights are getting these calls that are ridiculously high, where you can see in the front that their butt is barely above their knee. And you're just like, there's no way that should get 2 white lights.
No.
Ever. So let's push that just to the side just for a second. And let's just talk about judging standards in equipped lifting. It is, as a judge, harder to figure out that hip crease when there's 4 layers of gear on top of it. So a lot of people can't really tell where the hip crease is, which is why one of the things that I prefer to see in a rule book is hip joint. Some federations have that. Most federations are hip crease at the top of the thigh. But the hip joint is easy to see if you have 300 plus pound people with huge thighs, and people in equipped lifting. Because you can always go, that's probably the hip joint. And you can kind of gauge it for everybody. It's essentially the middle of their butt, like right here. That's where your hip joint's going to be. So it's just easier to see. So some federations, it's hip joint. So when you see their calls, the hip joint is also lower than the hip crease. So they're judging based off of the hip joint going under or parallel to the kneecap. So that is some reason for higher calls, because if you're thinking hip crease and they're looking hip joint, they're going to call white lights 2 inches before you're going to say white lights. So that's that part. The other thing is, I can't explain why the judging is so bad. Because it's not the lifter. It's not the lifter. The lifter is hearing down, 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 up, 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 up. And they're just going up when the lifter is just doing what they're told by their coach. So you can't blame the lifter. You have to blame the judges, and you have to blame the federations. It is 100% their fault. They are the ones allowing it to happen. And I've seen squats, I've seen a few all-time world record squats this year where you're looking at the front angle and you're going, there's nothing that you can tell me that was even close to parallel, never mind breaking it. And parallel is a made-up term because it's not in any rule book anywhere. There is no such thing as parallel. It's hip crease below the kneecap. And we just call parallel hip crease at the kneecap. But it's not in any rule book. So people get obsessed with the word parallel, but it doesn't mean anything. Your hip crease has to be below your kneecap in most federations. So you can generally look at several world record squats and just go, I don't know. I don't know what they're looking for. And as a multiply lifter, when I'm looking at federations that are putting on meets on the West Coast, there's not a lot. So I have to look through every single person's rule book to see what the differences are. Most are hip crease below the knee. And then you go and you look on their Instagram promoting some big guy's name or big girl's name, and you're looking at the side angle and you're just like, that's 6 inches above what I would call parallel. And how do you even train for that now? Like, do I even bother training to parallel? Because I'm a nobody. If I don't go right to parallel, are they going to call me differently than some big name who's going to try and break a world record at a state level meet? Because that's the other thing. If you notice, some of these world records aren't being done at, let's say, the WPO. They're being done at some local gym meet, and it's because they know they're going to have judges who aren't as good, and they know they're going to have judges who are going to be surprised by the big name that's there. So they're probably going to get a white light no matter what. And that's a federation problem, and that's a judge problem, but I can't ever blame the lifter. They're just going up when someone yells up.
So we're using the term big name and equipped powerlifting like real loosely, right?
Big name for equipped powerlifting.
Unless you're Dave Hoff, nobody knows who you are. Not
you know Amber.
Well, yeah, but I know her from Raw.
Yeah, but she also has the all-time world record squat too,
which was also hot as fuck.
It was, and I'm a big fan of Amber. I love me some Amber, but yeah. and here's the awesome thing about Amber to be actually. So I think it was last year, she did a IPA meet where she took the world record bench press.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching it going like that bar came down like 2 inches. Like the second, like it kind of, so it was a band shirt. So when the band shirt finally gave way, it ducked down and then she was able to muscle the rest of it up. But like it clearly went down easily and they gave her 3 white lights. And to her credit, she said, no, that's enough.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I do remember that.
So credit to her for looking at that and going like, I can't accept that as a good lift because it's not. She knows it. And yeah, exactly. Like she's a respected lifter and that means more to me as someone else who's equipped to be like, all right, yeah, you don't take the handouts. Put your own federation on blast. Be like, no. That was not a good lift. So big respect to Amber.
Yeah. Agreed.
But she's like the only equipped lifter I know besides Jimmy and you. Well, and Mama Ken.
Well, and Jimmy benches people's total.
Yeah.
Reps.
That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Like I haven't met Jimmy. I know he's like 5'7", 400 plus pounds.
He's also 5'7" wide, bro.
Yeah,
he's also 5'7" fucking wide. That is a large fucking human.
He's a huge human, and he wears a bench shirt. Like all of his bench shirts, most of them aren't terribly custom. They're just super small. He stretches them out, and then they alter them again, so they're basically a spring. Because here's the cool thing about Jimmy. He can bench a lot raw. That's impressive. He benched the highest single ply. He benched the highest band shirt. And he tried going for the highest multiply, regular poly shirt. And I don't think he's got that one yet, but I think he tried again to do the band. So he kind of put a pause on the poly one. But I mean, he's got a huge, no matter what you do, that guy has a huge bench. Equipped raw, no matter the equipped division, like the man's just he's a freak of nature.
When he does raw benching, he only benches underhanded.
Yeah,
and he's hitting like reverse grip, and he's hitting like fucking 500 pounds for reps.
It's
he did disgusting.
800 pounds for 25 reps.
Yeah, he's a fucking monster.
Yeah, he did that in like the F8 version of a slingshot called the Widowmaker.
The Widowmaker. They have such badass names just for a slingshot sewn in fucking multiply suit. This is a Widowmaker.
Hey man, you gotta have a catchy name. It's business.
True. Listen. Downies like sweet names, bro.
Oh yeah. Gotta have a selling point, man.
No, honestly, that shit is. I always think it's wild, because it doesn't seem in multiply. A little bit I've watched and have seen. Nobody seems to give a fuck about totals in multiply. Like everybody seems to give a fuck about being the biggest bench presser. Nobody cares about the big squatters or anything. It's always like the 1,000-pound benchers, right? Scott Mendelson, Ryan Kennelly, even fucking Dave Hoff. He had a big squat, a pathetic fucking deadlift, but I mean, dude can't even see his dick. That's a big old belly. And he's got a huge bench, right, in a shirt. It seems everybody in it, Jimmy, obviously the bench monster now in a shirt. Everybody cares about the bench in equipped lifting.
So I'll take back. I want to take back the Dave Hoff comment because he cares about his total because he has 1,300 pound squat.
He seems to be like the only one that gives a shit.
But he's also the only one that wins, right? He's always the only one. If he's in the meet, he's taken first, period. Because his squat, no one can really out squat him. His bench, maybe Jimmy can out bench him. Maybe a guy who just does bench press can out bench him. But when you're talking full power, like you brought up his deadlift, and I questioned it, and then I got educated by some equipped lifters about it because I was like, man, that's a hell of a drop off from like 1,300 pound squat, like 1,100 pound bench, and like a 750 pound deadlift.
Yeah.
Now I was like, now I know equipment helps a lot in squat and bench and very little carryover in deadlift. So that is one portion of the reason. But the other is you got to remember, man, the dude had like a 2,200, 2,300 pound subtotal.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like, that's a lot of effort to just, all right, now we're going to try and go for a 900 pound deadlift. Like, dude's also beat up and tired by the time deadlift comes around. So so basically from what I understand, his wife explained it. He sets out his numbers a month, 2 months in advance and goes, all right, if I make this squat and I make this bench, I just need this deadlift. Because what he cares about is taking first place and the biggest total ever. And he does that pretty much on every occasion. Now, 2 years ago in the WPO, he hurt his hamstring. And so his total was only like in the 2,900s or something like that. And I mean, that's a dude who's now 31 something, like 3,100 something pound total.
Jesus Christ.
The biggest ever. It's the biggest total ever. And I don't think anyone's going to beat it for a long, long time.
No, I mean, probably not. It's kind of like Dan Bell, 2606. I don't think anybody's going to touch that in a minute. For classic, right? That's just there's outliers and there's freaks. Jesus Raw. I don't think anybody's going to come close to touching that. I mean, he blew Dan away by like fucking 40 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
And then Dan blew away, I think, the next closest guy in wraps by like fucking 40 or 50 pounds. It's just those outliers are not going to be touched, in my opinion.
But the thing that I like here, and here's the difference between equipped lifting and raw lifting too. Dave Hoff did it for a long, long, long time. He's been in powerlifting since he was like 14 or 15 years old. So he's been in it for a really long time at a high level, beating everybody that ever competes against him and having the highest totals ever. I don't like Dan Bell. He was in powerlifting for a while and maybe he won't ever do it again. Jesus, he's 23 years old. He's been in it for a little while. Is he going to make it to 35?
I mean, is he going to have a heart attack before 35?
Well, I'm not even saying heart attack. I'm just saying because he stopped lifting.
Right? Stopped lifting? No. Competing? Probably.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what the competing is the only part I care about.
Would you say he's going to retire, Mark?
Yeah.
That also was an argument. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
I love
hobbies
him, but
can also be
sometimes
sports, and sports can also be hobbies.
you're not wrong. I was thinking about that today when thinking about the podcast again, and I was thinking about that answer, and my answer does not change for me, right? So Mark asked me at the pool, like, do you retire from powerlifting, right? So by definition, technically, yes, right? I guess.
Now,
But
my exact
to me,
question is it stupid?
oh, that's
is it
right.
stupid to announce retirements?
For me, it's opinion. This is definitely opinion based, right? If I quit powerlifting, I quit. I didn't retire. Okay. I just quit doing it. I didn't retire. I haven't done anything yet. Now, when Karina decides to stop competing, she retired. She's been at the top. Dan Bell will retire from it. He's been at the top. John Hack will retire from it. Brandon Allen retired from it. Me and you, we're going to quit.
That's the funny thing is, I don't see myself quitting. I see myself going into masters. I see myself going into the 50 plus masters. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see myself not competing because, for me, because I was never elite, I'll never be elite. It's just fun. It's just a hobby.
And that's how I look at it too. This is like, I do need to compete. Like, I'll probably compete forever. I have big goals? Yeah, of course I do. I for sure want a 2K total. Yeah. All that stuff. But at the end of the day, it doesn't feed my kids. It doesn't pay me. It doesn't do shit for me besides get me jacked and juicy and give me high blood pressure because I shoot steroids in my ass.
But also it's a mental health thing too. Like, the reason why you went back to the gym to train is because you know that your mental health is part of that. And that's where, like, a lot of these retirements are, they're bullshit because they're not ready to leave the gym.
Yeah, they
can't leave the gym.
No, I'll never leave the gym. Like, I don't even know, like, if I'll quit competing ever. I mean, I'll go as long as I can. I'll go and be as competitive as I can be for as long as I can. When I'm not competitive anymore, then I'll just continue to lift, and whether I compete or not, depends on how my body feels at the point, honestly. But I will be in the gym for the rest of my life because
you'll fade away from the competition because eventually you're not going to have an elite pro level total. You won't have the dots like that. No matter, that's for everybody. That's coming.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand the reason why you would say I want to retire, because I don't want to go from having, like, say you had a 2,500 pound total. I want to go from that to 22 to 2,000. Right. And even though you might be setting records in sub-masters or masters, that's not going to do it for Karina. That's not going to be a highlight. Oh, I have a masters world record.
Yeah, I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, like, you would not give two shits about that. But all the people who started powerlifting in their 30s, they did it because they saw it on, whatever they saw, or they just saw a person do it in the gym and be like, oh, what's this? Or, you know what I mean? Like, that person, they're going to go until they're 50 because they're never going to be a pro. And they start off knowing that. And I guess once you become a pro, like, that's going to change your mindset on that. But I also see a lot of pros, because no one's making a full-time living off of this, is, man, you guys are unhappy. Like, I see it all on Instagram. Like, they're complaining, they're bitching, they're whining, they have this injury, that injury, they're doing this. And it's just like, dude, remember why you got into it. You got into it because it was either fun, it was something new and exciting, whatever the case may be. Why did you get into it, and why get back to that?
There's so much bitching in powerlifting.
Oh, dude, the second we could go to the classic now if you want, because there was some bitching on the non-tested day.
So, okay, guys, obviously this last weekend, all three, Karina came down to Vegas, stayed at my place, because she was leffing. We had the Fighter Quit Classic 3 that happened this weekend, which was fucking fun, but it was so long.
Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, 2 sessions a day. Oh my god, that was so long.
Yeah.
But there was some good shit. There was some cool shit that happened. We got to see a lot of homies do some cool stuff, and then we got to see Sarah. Sarah eats bacon. Sarah fucking shit. Broke.
That deadlift was beautiful.
That was a fucking awesome deadlift. 640 fucking pounds for the biggest. She's what?
640.5, and she fucking
640.5.
more in the tank.
More in the tank, and she fucking crushed it. The most weight a woman has ever deadlifted, fucking ever.
Dude,
And she's 47. She's a fucking doctor.
And she is the nicest fucking person in the world. And
not an egotistical bitch. Like the last record holder.
I was head judge for that shit, and I was like shaking because I was so excited. And I was crying when she got it. Like, and we were just like, I was just like, please make this a clean pull, because I swear to God, I won't live with myself if I have to red light. Like, red lighter, I'm gonna red lighter. Like, you know, I'm not gonna play at all, especially for a record like that. Like, there's no fucking way. But I was just like, please let this shit be clean. And it was fucking clean.
Yep.
Energy in that fucking room. I wasn't tired. I felt like I could run through a wall and pull 650 myself. Like, shit was amazing.
That was fucking awesome. The energy in the room was fucking nuts. And again, yes, she took the record back for the people. She did this for the people.
She took it in front of Tamara, who was there, which was the best part.
That was the extra cherry on top.
I guarantee you, Tamara had no clue who Sarah was. None. Had no idea that she was even coming out the woodworks. Like, we all knew. I knew this was happening. She told me weeks ago that she went in retirement. Like, she was done powerlifting. And she came back because she was tired of it. And she was like, I'm taking this fucking record. And I was like, you're the fucking one. And she fucking did it. We knew this shit was coming. But again, Tamara had no fucking clue. Could you imagine? Like, thinking you're baddest bitch.
Okay, listen, I could imagine, because I'm a cocksucker. I mean, oh yeah, fuck yeah, that person was cool. Yeah, damn, dude, they broke my record. But I'm not an egotistical fucking cunt who thinks that I can fucking, I'm gonna now hold seminars. You need to pay to fucking, see me. And what's that? I'm going to get a booth here to sell my merch with my fucking face on it because I'm a lifter here. No, bitch, you're going to pay just like everybody fucking else says. But I'm lifting. Sorry, how? You need to fucking pay. Fucking that bitch sucks. I'm so glad her record got broken. Now, hopefully, she'll just fucking disappear. Maybe now we're going to see Sarah on fucking, we're going to see her on Ellen? Is she going to get a Project Rock fucking sponsorship? She fucking better. Because she didn't just chip that shit like Tamara did to break hers. Just a little chip. I believe she broke about a few pounds, didn't she?
She broke it by like 1.5 pounds.
Oh, she chipped it. She chipped it too?
Yeah.
Okay. But she chipped it on her second. Then she went for 661.
And
she got to her. It broke the fucking floor. I think she would have had 650 if she would have stayed a little conservative.
Yeah. I figured she would have been. Okay, I already got the record. Let's just yell.
Let's just go crazy, yeah.
God, it was so nice to see that. I love seeing egotistical fucks get knocked down a peg or two. God, it was such a good feeling. Fucking bitch. All right.
So I wanted to look it up because someone said it would have been the biggest deadlift ever by any woman ever, period, strongman, powerlifting, equipped, everything. It wouldn't have been. No. So the biggest deadlift ever is 693 by a female. And that's that was equipped. And then Crystal Tate had the second at like either 670 or 680 something. But it wouldn't.
No, it's the biggest. Yes, the biggest raw ever.
It was definitely the biggest raw ever for sure. But it was announced that it was going to be the biggest across all feds, all gear divisions, everything. And I just was like, is that true? Because that seems
No, I
like it's
think
not
Micah
true.
just said that. I think Micah said that for the hype.
Micah didn't say anything.
No, wasn't he the one on the fucking mic?
Oh.
Who was?
Your buddy.
Oh, Garrett was on the mic. Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh, maybe he said that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, because I was standing on the platform being like, that doesn't seem correct. But yeah, it wasn't. 693 in powerlifting. 693 is the biggest female deadlift. Period.
Either way,
yeah. But I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Oh, and conventional.
And oh god, the way she did it, it just looked so smooth.
It's insane. She's so tall too. She's
tall as fuck. She's tall as fuck.
I have no idea who she is, right? I don't follow powerlifters unless Fight or Quit is part of their, like, if that's not their gym, they're associated. And if they're not in, like, there's like 8 people I know who are not associated. Like, I don't care about people in, like, I just don't care. But so I have no idea who she was
small lifters.
Until I didn't know who she was until I saw her. What was it, Sunday?
Yeah.
And I remember watching her squats, and I was going like, she squats like someone who's been in equipped lifting, right? Even all of the commands were back, and she's in reps, and she's doing the thing that you do, like shaking all the way down, and then she just pops up. Like, it wasn't a struggle whatsoever. I was like, why was it such a struggle going down? But back up was just like, oh, yeah, I got this.
She messaged me after her squats because I was sitting at the score table, and she's like, that was the sketchiest squat of my life. Like, bro, are you okay? She's like, yeah, my fried. And I was like, just save it. Just save all of that.
Save it. Yeah. We need this.
Together.
Well, because I had no idea she was going to go for such a big deadlift.
Oh, I knew. Well,
we knew she was opening up with 6'11".
Yeah, and her and I competed together in the 2019 Kern.
That's when she first broke it.
Yeah, so let me see how much it was, because it was obscene back then.
So it was like 632 or 634.
5 that day, but I had squatted 5. It was a wrapped meet, and I had squatted 578 in wraps, and I'd benched like 358. And even with her deadlift that was over 100 more pounds than me, I still beat her by the total wise. And I was like, how? I had just pulled 501. Let me look at it.
Well, and that goes back to the point we were making even in equipped lifting.
Where
was that?
Sarah, she's been a multiply lifter before.
So that explains her squat technique.
Outside. Are you getting your
No, Gary.
Yeah. Okay.
You're grounded.
So all right, so that definitely explains her squat technique. She just it's an equipped lifter technique, 100%. And so to just, we could go right back to that for a quick second.
Yeah.
The reason why, like, so you were talking about earlier how they pick a number that they're opening up with and they can't even handle it.
Oh, they shit the bed.
Yeah. And what I like, I don't know why people do that, because I would think that's really stupid. But for bench press, I can kind of get it. Because for bench press, you kind of have to pick a number that you can't do raw, because you have to touch.
Yeah.
And then you have to hope that there's like a magical number of like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So you have to train in that magical area that touches and is a good lift off your chest. And if you're fried from your squats, that number might actually end up being too high. And if you're not fried from your squats, you should be able to get it no problem. But I don't understand why people don't open up a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Like it boggles my mind. I don't understand it. You don't have to go 9 for 9, but you have to go at least 3 for 9.
Right.
Like,
I don't understand, like, the way Brandon programs us. Our openers is our last warm up.
Yeah.
It's your last warm up. Like, so the second and third are what count for me.
Yeah.
Like those, like my fucking, I think my opening squat for FQ2 was like 485.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't even warm up to a point where I was normally where I'd wear my belt. I had to put my belt on for my last warm up just because I was like, oh, I need to get used to wearing it for my opener. Because I was like, dude, I don't put a belt on until I'm about 475 or so. I think it was 485, and then my second was fucking 540. And my third was 585. So we take monstrous fucking jumps. So again, it's your third, it's your last warm up.
If you have a plan, then go for the plan. But
always,
if your plan is like, I hope I get my first attempt, that's a stupid plan. Like that's just stupid plan.
Right?
So like I understand too the squatting technique for equipped lifting. Like again, you have to overload the bar to a degree so you can actually get to depth.
I get that.
Like I can't take just 300 pounds and squat to depth all geared up. Like that's just not enough weight to actually do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Her deadlift when she broke that record was 601.9 because it was sitting at 600 for years from April Mathis.
Oh.
So
but then she broke it a few times then.
Yeah, because then she broke it again at the 2020 Kern.
Okay.
And she broke, because Springer broke her 601. I forget what she did it at. And then Sarah took it back at the 2021 Kern, sorry.
Yeah. And then that's when Tamara broke it.
And then Tamara broke it at the 2021 Showdown, and everyone lost their shit. But no one gave a fuck about Sarah.
No, nobody gave a shit about Sarah, and then everybody, oh my God, Ellen, I'm a single mom, even though I got a whole ass man and my mother to help me out at home. I'm a single mom, I've got a full-time job, and I make time for the gym. Weird. I know 6 different moms in powerlifting, they're all elite like that. We're talking to one right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. How about this one? It gives it away in her username. Quads like mom.
Yeah.
Weird. She's probably a mom. I don't think she's just saying that. Yeah. She's a fucking monster too. So there's quite a few of them. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
I forgot the meet that she was going to do, where it was like, oh, we need you to not film it, and no pictures can be taken.
Oh, it was the American Pro.
It was the American Pro.
And
she was going to have her own
to her
live stream. Yeah, she was supposed to have she wanted to have her own live stream for just her lifts that her fans could subscribe to. And they were like, fine, cool, we'll cut the fucking feed when she comes up. Not a problem. And then as you saw how that worked out, it was clearly didn't work. Yeah, no, that was the same one where she expected she was going to have a booth to sell just her merch for free because of who she was. And I'm like, do you understand what the sponsorship booths cost? You think they're just going to give that spot for free for why? Because you deadlifted a lot and you think you're special? You're not. You're overweight. That's why. That's
bodybuilder mentality right there, because that happens at bodybuilding expos all the time. These guys come in and they're like, well, I'm the biggest name here. I shouldn't have to pay. And it's like, do you know how much the Olympia costs? Like, are you out of your mind? You think you can just get a booth for free?
Unless your name is Ronnie Coleman or Phil fucking Heath.
And they still pay.
You're not that big.
Yeah.
You're not that fucking big. Or Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's the same thing with
influencers. When they go to a gym and they're like, well, I have X amount of followers. You should let me in for free. Your name will be out. And it's like, yeah, that still doesn't pay the electric bill though.
You mean like like tomorrow trying to get in on the first day?
I have no recollection of that happening. So
trying to
I was
act
too
like
busy working.
I know I know the gym owner. Okay, a lot of people know the fucking gym owner. $15, bitch. Fuck you mean? Fuck out of here, man. Like, I fucking hate people like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, people like that expect they're gonna fucking get in for free are absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, God, I hate people. But regardless, the FQ this weekend was fucking tits. Sarah's deadlift was fucking awesome. We had a lot of homies that fucking crushed it. Our Team Filthy member, Adrian, and his wife both did fucking awesome this weekend. Our boy Justin, big fucking shout out to our boy Justin, comes in with an amazing fucking prep and crushes his back on his third fucking squat. Comes in with like 12 out of 10 pain and finishes his fucking one of his deadlifts so that motherfucker can put up a total. Like, dude was dying.
His last deadlift, he looked like he was in so much pain. I felt so bad. I literally just talked to him though, and he said he's not feeling worse, and he's got a schedule this week.
Yeah.
So.
Good, yeah.
Cool guy. Like, he's so fucking nice, and like
he's a good dude.
Super fucking cool.
Yeah, he's a fucking good dude. That was a hell of a fucking meet. Obviously not what he wanted, but shit happens, and he still fucking finished. So that was pretty fucking goddamn impressive. So, and I know he listens to our podcasts. So Justin, we love you, dog. Big fucking shout out for that. Who else? There's a lot of fucking there's so many fucking people. Oh, Bree, that's right.
Squat record.
Bree hit the squat record, and she just, with her third deadlift, would have had the all-time total record.
Second. She missed it
second.
twice. Yeah. She tried to go for it on her second. Yeah. She tried to go for it on her second, and she got it about halfway. I think she got it right above her knee. And then the third one, she got it right below her knee, and that was like she was toasted after that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she was that far. She was that close to the all-time total record.
What did she end up squatting?
550.
That was the record. She squatted. Didn't she squat like 580 in training?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was talking about that. I want to say Friday when they were doing the weigh-ins and everything.
Yeah.
She was talking about how like she's now like a squat person, and she's like, I'm close to 600. Like, that's weird. That's so weird to me.
But here's the thing. This is what I've never understood, at least because for me and Karina, it's never like this, at least with Brandon. There's a lot of people that are gym monsters. They're still monsters on the platform, but they are fucking almost 100 pounds less on their platform total than their gym total. I'm like, how is it like that? Like, I mean, mind you, she squatted 580, fatigued in the gym, somewhat rough, and she squeezed out 540 on the platform. I'm like, 40 pounds less on the platform. I'm like, almost every time so far have 10 to 20 pounds more for my third than what my one rep max was in the gym.
Because they're either ego lifting, or they're peaking too soon, or they're cutting too much weight, or they're doing dumb shit that they're not supposed to be doing. Because I see it every fucking time. I've seen it when I'm coaching. I have never had this problem.
James.
But
I love you.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's cutting too much water weight. People think that they can rehydrate and get back to the weight. That's great. You're back to your weight, but all the energy that you expended and how fatigued you are, cutting weight.
That's because none of them know how to do it. That's because there's one guy in powerlifting that I would personally say cuts weight correctly. That's Joe. Joe's the only one that I know that really knows how to cut weight, like a fighter does. Fighters know how to fucking cut weight.
Yeah.
All right, and it's because it's not just the weight cut. The weight cut itself, yes, matters. It's the rehydration is just as important as the weight cut, and people don't fucking do it right. Joe knows his shit when it comes to his cut and his rehydration, and that's the big thing. You could these guys could do it right. A lot of them fuck up most of the time, though.
Mm-hmm. So you have the water cut, then you have general anxiety, right? Like anything in the gym could be somewhat anxious, but you're in control. At a meet, you're not in control. And that was the biggest. So on our untested day, that was our biggest complaint of the meet was people like, oh, we need more time. We got to do this. And it's like, dude, you had 50 minutes to warm up. How much longer do you need to warm up? Like if you need to get that on dial before you come to a meet. And this is prime.
I've noticed a lot of powerlifters, and this is just in general, and even at the elite level, powerlifters are soft as fuck. Even for ones that are that fucking strong, they're soft as fuck. Anything throws them off. Like that. Like, oh, I don't have enough time to warm up. Oh my God, we have to extend the time. Or you just do it and you stop being a bitch. Here's the thing. I love the meet day. I fucking love meets. I thrive in meets. I'm not going to do as well. I already can tell you right now, I will not do as well in a boring ass, golf club meet. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I thrive off of hype like that. When that crowd is going fucking nuts like that, and that walkout, that's why I love doing Micah's meets. The walk down for the third fucking deadlift, getting smacked on the back and getting ready to fucking go. Like,
that's why I stopped doing USPA meets. That's why the WRPF Federation exists.
Yeah.
Was to be the fuck you to the USPA and USAPL elitist agenda, where you're going to get thrown out if you're an audience member who swears.
Chris knows.
I never got thrown out. Fuck you, Steve.
Fuck you, Steve. And then you have, the first time I ever met Ed Cohen was at the Olympia for the USPA meet, and I was rapping a crew from Arizona. I was rapping knees. I was helping with shirts. It was the Equip Day, and 2 judges told us 5 people can go up and wait because there's steps. And I'm like, all right, we got to quit people who are in raps. We're not doing steps. That's not going to be a thing, right? So we want to get up there. We want to be able to get ready and have them ready to go. And they said, yep, you could go 5 deep. And we're like, all right, cool. My lifter was number 5. So we go up on the platform and Steve comes around and goes, no, you guys can't do that. And I was like, dude, 2 people just told me, 2 judges just told me I could. He goes, well, it's my meet. And I was like, yeah, I know that. That's why it's run like shit. So then I walked past him and Ed Cohen just looks at me like, you know it. He's just like, you got it. And then we started talking for a little bit, but I was just like, yeah, man. I never liked the USPA. I did 1 USPA meet. And it was because the guy who introduced me to single ply, it was his meet. And then he was the guy who went in 2019 and became into the WRPF. And he's like, come on over here. We don't have all those stupid USPA rules. And I was like, it's been that way ever since. Like I hated the USPA in the 1 meet that I did and all the ones that I went to just as a visitor, as someone who was handling somebody. They're just so boring.
Yeah, they suck. They suck bad. They suck real fucking bad. Did we get any questions, Karina?
No.
What the fucking fuck? These cocksuckers.
They were too busy.
That's because nobody knows who I am.
That doesn't matter. There's usually at least one creep in our fucking comments.
All the DMs.
Or the DMs or something. Jesus Christ. What a fucking 70 fucking lifters and none of y'all ask anything. listeners. Y'all fucking suck.
We got 71 now on YouTube. 71 subscribers.
71 subscribers. Y'all don't ask any questions. Y'all motherfuckers. Y'all motherfuckers. We just felt like Mark needed to come on here to redeem himself because we talk shit every time. And I'll probably still do it on episode 21 and so on and so forth because it's just now it's tradition.
Right?
Now it's tradition to talk shit on equipped
So
lifting.
while I'm here, do you have any more multiply stuff that you want to ask?
No, because honestly, I won't have it until I'm in multiply, which will eventually happen, or single when I'm old and hurting. It'll eventually go there because I would like to keep competing for ever, but because I'm not gonna retire.
When's your next meet gonna be, Mark?
It's looking like your November 4th meet.
Are we November 4th or December 3rd?
No, we have a November 4th in Chico at North State Barbell. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, I'll put
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So quite frankly, I wanted to do a different federation meet. I wanted to do an IPA meet because they're really the only one West Coast that puts on full power meets. And I only wanted to do it because I want to lift with more equipped lifters.
Yeah.
It's really just that simple. It's not because I don't like the WRPF. Obviously, I'm a judge. I've been at every single MICA meet, working every single possible position. It's not that. It's if I'm not the only lifter that's equipped, there's maybe one other, and generally they've been bench press only.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've squatted in the last 2 years with somebody else who was equipped. Like it may be
Sounds like you
single
just
ply.
Sounds like you just need to come to Raw, Mark.
No, you don't go backwards.
Raw is the law.
Raw is the law.
Yeah, in the bedroom, not on a meet, not in the gym.
Everything's raw dog. I raw dog life.
I raw dogged half this weekend with no contacts in.
Oh yeah. She's blind as fuck. If you guys walked up to Karina this weekend and she didn't have her glasses on, you're like, oh, hey, she probably didn't see your fucking face.
Honestly though, my vision is really not that bad. Like
Mine is fucking terrible.
a negative 1.25 and this one's a negative 0.75.
Mine is negative 3.75 on both eyes. I'm blind as fuck. If I'm not wearing my contacts,
I haven't been to an eye doctor in 2 decades.
And you can
how's it feel being God's fucking favorite? All right, because I can't see.
I'm not saying
shit.
I can see good. I'm just saying I don't go to the eye doctor.
Jesus
That's not, Jesus fucking Christ.
I also don't have an ACL in my left leg.
Ew.
Yeah.
Why? What the fuck?
You don't know the story?
Probably not. I know the Pebble story.
We're not going to go over that one again.
The one eye hooker.
Pebbles. Well, the Pebbles story is still going to be on our YouTube live. That's still on our YouTube right now. That I'm probably just going to leave.
If you guys just skip through all the bullshit, if you guys just skip through all the bullshit and go to the end, there's the Pebble story. The one eye hooker. You guys will understand.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I love it. Mark's a fucking degenerate. Just by the way, guys. This is why we have him on here, because he's an absolute fucking degenerate. Not only is he a fucking downy lifter, but just in general life, he's just a fucking degenerate.
That's
like he's an OnlyFans star, and his dick, if it could talk, would probably want to kick his ass sometimes for him putting it in fucking some of these people. All right, just an absolute degenerate. Just fucking Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
We Chris and I have our first STS meet in 2.5 weeks. STS, Memorial Day Monsters.
That's untested, right? That one's untested?
We're up to 20 people now, so we'll at least have 2 flights.
As long as everybody shows up.
Yeah, well, people already dropped out, but
Cunts.
we've got 61 people for the tested day in June and a wait list.
Shit. Oh my god.
So that's gonna be a long day.
I don't know if I can talk that long. Holy shit. 60 fucking people?
61.
That's like 20 people per fucking flight. Or we're going to have to do 4 flights.
4
15 apiece.
Yeah.
A D
flights of
flight?
15.
Oh, fuck y'all.
Maybe we can convince Mark and Melissa to come down again and fucking hang with us, and Mark can help you out on the mic.
Yeah. Nobody touches my mic, Mark.
You gotta wink at least once.
Chris is gonna be like, oh, it's not Buzzrap.
Listen, if any of y'all got some funky, fucked up ass names, you're getting a nickname. You're getting a fucking nickname, all right? And you best understand what I'm saying, all right? Davey with the hair, you know, all right? His ass standing in the back. Who is he talking about? Like he didn't know he has great fucking hair. Get the fuck out there and squat, son. Get out of here. Get out of here. Fuck out of here. Okay, if Karina still had her fucking maiden name, and I didn't know who she was, Karina, big old benching bitch, get out of here. Come on, let's go. Big old benching bitch. Karina, big old benching bitch. Come on. Let's go. If she's wondering who I'm talking about, you know what? You deserve to time out at that point. You deserve to time out.
This
Fuck out of here.
Name back, because I don't need all that. Davis is easy.
Davis is easy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad for anyone with my last name.
Yeah, exactly. That's you're at the meet that we're in Raw meets. I'm announcing. Mark, Donnie Lifter, come on, get out of here. Get here. Come on. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. You better get your ass to that fucking platform.
Just call him.
See, you know, like that also that goes back to the anxiety at meets. For me, I'm constantly staring at that goddamn list of names. Because I'm like, I'm never gonna time out. And I just like that's my anxiety level is that. It's just like, where am I? When am I coming up? About how long is it gonna be? Like it's just one of those things like that drives me insane because I'm such a timely person that waiting bothers me.
Oh, see, that's why you gotta get a good handler, man.
Well, I haven't ever had a handler, so yes.
Oh, what the fuck? You need to get one.
I know. It's been you, basically.
Yeah, so you need to get yourself fucking hype, man. Karina always handles me.
Yeah.
Hey, I won't compete if she can't be there.
My biggest issue with all here's the reason why I won't do Micah Marino meets is because if he's my coach and he's also the meet director, it's impossible for him to handle me.
Why the fuck do you think I handle so many fucking people?
I know. Like if it wasn't, you were the reason. You had my straps. You helped me with my bench shirt. And you helped me get hyped for deadlifts. And you did my straps for deadlift too. Because I wrap my own knees, but I can't wrap my own knees and do my suit.
Yeah.
Like I can't do both.
He picked you up and put you inside of your hanging stiff suit on the fucking squat rack and you jump in.
No, I do that. I could do that.
Who does that? No, that's why I have
my straps and everything, yeah.
That's why I handle Albert.
Straps.
And that's why I handle Albert too. Albert comes and asks me to handle him because he's like, Micah picks my numbers and does all that shit for me. He's like, but I need somebody to fucking help me warm up and fucking get me ready and all that shit. I'm like, bet, dude, that's what I'm here for. I end up doing any of our FQ people. That's what I do and help for. But you know,
well,
that's what I try to do. But
whenever I see you at the meet, I'm just like, that's how I know you care.
Oh yeah,
because you're there for everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. You're there for everybody. If someone asks you to do something, you're right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I try. But you know, some of these motherfuckers, what they need to do is get a best friend that'll handle them. I don't let anybody handle me besides Karina. Or unless Brandon's there. If Brandon's there, he'll step in. But like, he didn't come to my fucking meets. I'm not big enough for him to come to my meets. Karina's at the meets for me. She does everything for me. Hey, I just give Karina my numbers. Oh, here you go.
That's the thing. Like, generally speaking, when it's a fight or quit meet, 80% of fight or quit is in the meet.
And it's Micah too.
Yeah,
so it's Micah's their coach too.
Yeah,
which is fucking funny.
It's really hard for, like, I had Sumo was going to be lifting the day after me, so I told Sumo, I was like, hey, he had to weigh in, so he was going to be there, and I was like, after weigh-ins, could you help me with my wraps and my straps and lift me out on bench? And he's like, yeah, I got you. And then he was told to go home by his coach.
Listen, I'm not gonna try to toot my own horn too hard, but guys, all my FQ members, hands down, the most underrated handoff on bench right here. Just throwing that out there. You guys want those smooth, fucking buttery handoffs? You know who to call. You know who to call. Huh?
Is this guy?
Judging, you can't hand him off.
I'm spotting most of the time.
Fuck that. Fuck all of that. I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not doing that shit ever. Ask Karina. His handoffs are fucking perfect. Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, no, she hands me off, she handles me. Listen, I don't know how some of these motherfuckers, like, they walk up with their coach to the numbers table. I have my numbers. I give them to Karina. The second my lift is done, do not talk to me. I'm going to go sit down.
Yeah.
I don't go look at that table.
Too, and that's the same thing. Like, you just fucking, you have them, and it's like, okay, for the third, I'll come over and be like, okay, that one, because we get a range for our third attempts. But if Brandon's putting whatever the fuck he's putting down.
Brandon gives us our range. The only thing I do is, when it comes to my third, I give Karina the numbers, and I go, hey, what are we doing? What are we doing for my third? And she goes, for the squat, she was 585. We've got this. I said, fucking bet. Yeah. Let's go. Fucking send it. Then I just sit the fuck down. I don't go to the desk. You know, the first meet we did, the lady was trying, hey, come here. I was like, oh, don't talk to me here. She's got that. Leave me alone. Why are you talking to me? Don't do that.
Well, and at Nationals, that's kind of how it was with me and Micah. So basically, I let him pick my openers the week before, but I told him, I was like, if I see a 4 in front of anything, I'm gonna be pissed on squat, because he wanted me to open up with like a high 400 squat, and I was like, no. This is Down syndrome lifting. I can't do anything under 5. That's just against the rules. So I was like, there has to be over 5. And the goal for that meet was my best was 573 prior to that. So I was like, as long as we get over that, I don't care what range we go from. Like, it's just you take it. I don't even care what it is. I'm not going to try and do the quick kilo math when I get up to the bar. I'm just going to squat it.
Yeah.
And that was the plan for that. Bench was a little different. He went really conservative. And I actually went down on my bench. My third attempt was 16 pounds lighter than the year before. And I'm well above it now. So it was we just went really conservative with bench, but I was like, that's fine. I don't care. And then deadlift, I was like, all right, the current number on powerlifting, we'll not call it a record, is X, and we're going to chip it. And that was our third attempt. Because I was like, it's also a PR for me too. So I was like, that works for me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about his PRing, man. Like, now listen, I do need to know the number. Like, I need to know. Like, I don't know. People are like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm like, what do you mean you want to fucking know? I need to know what it is so I can psych myself the fuck up.
Yeah.
See, for me, I know. I knew what numbers were going to be, and I just had to get to the numbers at the third attempt. Right? Like, I knew what my openers were. I didn't know what my second lifts were, and I knew what my thirds were going to be based around. So I was comfortable with that.
That's too much unknown for me. I don't like that.
but that's the first meet I've ever done it like that. Everything else, I so because I said I was going to do an IPA meet in July, I have my first, second, and third attempts on my whiteboard right now. And they're not, I'm not going to change them unless something happens in the gym where I'm like, all right, that's not going to be a possibility, or I undershot it and I got to move it up a little bit. But like, I'm 2 months out if I were to do that meet. And I already have my numbers. I know what I want to do.
Weird. I mean, I know what I want to do in fucking December, but I don't know if that's gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
But you also come back from it, so.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
I mean, I guess if I'm gonna act like a fucking bitch, then I probably won't hit those numbers. But I'm as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna go to the fucking gym because I need to go. I need to stop using my injury as an excuse.
We're over an hour. You're asking to go to the gym now.
No, bet. So we're gonna wrap this up because none of y'all motherfuckers gave us questions.
Yeah, no, I had to take these last 2 days off from the gym from the meet. I was done. I was toasted, man.
Oh no, I'm still fucking cooked, man. But I'm gonna go stuff my fat fucking face real quick, and then go hit my overhead press that I wasn't able to do this weekend. I'm pushing everything back a day, which means I'm squatting tomorrow. I'm like, fuck, but that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's fucking like 8:45. I'm about to go lift till about 11, but fuck it. Mama's working, so she'll be up late working, so I can still come home and get me some. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cake is the best post-workout meal ever.
Thank you for coming on here.
Thanks for having the redo with us.
Yeah.
It was such a shit show.
It was so bad.
Stay tuned. We'll do our next episode probably next week, so we stay on track. And we'll have another guest that we'll announce.
Oh shit, are we? Bet. Guys, listen, I don't fucking know what's happening with this podcast, okay? I'm just here to talk shit. Karina does everything. This podcast would not exist. This podcast would not exist without Karina. She is the backbone of this team.
All right.
See y'all motherfuckers next week.
Bye.
Later, guys.